welcome to Mom Jeans and Crime Scenes. I'm Trish, and I'm excited to be here with you guys tonight. So I was getting ready to go to bed, and I was thinking about Alexis Sharkey. And I was like, I wasn't going to do a video about her at first, but I just have to. I have to do a video about her. I know that everyone else under the moon, the sun, everyone's doing videos about her. But I don't know, rightfully so. Her story is really intriguing. It's happening right now. It's just really interesting. And so I was thinking about her and was like, I have to be awake in a few hours, but I don't really care. We're going to do a really quick video. So we're going to talk about Alexis Sharkey really fast. Yeah. So Alexis was considered very confident, vivacious, smart. She was from Pennsylvania, and she'd actually graduated summa cum laude in biology. So she was super smart. She was planning on going into the healthcare industry. Super smart girl. She moved to Texas where she met Tom Sharkey. So he was quite a bit older than she was, but that really didn't seem to bother either of them. They hit it off really well, and the two of them got married. So all in all, they really seemed super happy and just like a cute little adventurous couple. I've seen lots of cute pictures of them adventuring. I've seen cute video of them adventuring. In fact, I will post a couple clips in here right now. They soon moved to Houston, Texas. Alexis had started an Instagram and had become very successful health and a beauty influencer on the platform. She was able to explore and take a lot of fun trips, and she seemed to have made a lot of friends with other influencers. She was also working for Monat, selling health-based body and hair care products. So her smarts, her work ethic, her style, and her drive really helped her succeed in the company. She soon became an executive for Monat, an executive director, in fact, for Monat. So she was doing really, really well with the company. So when you look from the outside in, things were really looking good for the beautiful 26-year-old boss babe. That is until she went missing on the Friday after Thanksgiving. According to her husband, Tom, who she'd been married to for around a year, the very last time he saw his wife, he told her that she could not drive under the influence. He said, "She understood me. I understood her. We didn't fight when she left. I told her she couldn't drive under the influence. She left anyhow. This is where we're at." Alexis did not make it back home. Soon her husband started to grow concerned and reached out to her friends. But as I understand, Tom did not report his wife missing. On Saturday, Alexis's friends began to really get nervous when they were unable to get a hold of her. She was an influencer. She always had her phone at her side, constantly just connected to the world. In fact, on her social media, she even said that she was always on her stories. And there weren't any recent stories. Her friends started to get worried because she hadn't posted for over 12 hours on her Instagram. She wasn't reaching back out to them. And so she was planning on watching movies with them that day, and she ditched out on the plans with them. That was just not like Alexis. So her friends were the ones who actually reported her missing to the police. So both Tom and Lexi's close friend, Tanya, had reached out to Lexi's mom to let her know that her daughter was missing. By the way, if I said Tanya's name wrong, I am sorry. It could be Tanya, maybe, I don't know. My best friend is Tanya, and it's spelled the same, so I'm saying Tanya, okay? But if it's Tanya, I apologize. But anyways, as this was happening, the unthinkable had occurred. That morning around 8:30, a city sanitation worker had been driving down a quiet road called Red Haw Lane. He saw what he thought was a mannequin or a body, but he kept driving. Whatever he had seen kind of shook him a little bit, and so he called his supervisor to have his supervisor come check it out. So the two of them, from what I understand, drove down the little road, and as they were driving, they could clearly see some feet, from the road. So they pulled over and found a young naked woman who was clearly deceased. And it was like seriously terrible for them. It was traumatizing. Just kind of an image that keeps replaying in their heads. I mean, can you just imagine stumbling upon that kind of a thing? When they found Alexis, there were no visible signs of injury on her body. The police were stumped as to who she was and how she'd gotten there, what had happened to her. But soon she would be positively identified as Alexis Sharkey. Her body had been placed about 3 miles from her home, and whoever left her there made very little effort to hide her. It was just kind of a bizarre place for her to be left. Like I said, her feet were even visible from the road. So just really, really strange place. Looking at the area, it just seems like maybe there could have been better places to hide a body. So I don't know, whoever dumped her there just didn't seem too worried about her being found. She was also found really close to her home. Lexi's friends said that Lexi had confided in them during a recent trip that she had made with them. She had told them that she was not happy with her marriage. That is it's just kind of quite a revelation to them. She said that it was really tumultuous, that she was afraid of her husband. She actually confided in one friend that on several occasions Tom had choked her, and she would black out and wake up on the bathroom floor, and that she was really scared for her life. And in the last few weeks, they were really starting to see more of a depressed, unhappy Lexi. So it was really kind of a sad thing for them to see her like that. But according to Tom Sharkey, those allegations just weren't true. He said that they had a good relationship, that they did not have plans to get a divorce. He said while they had an argument before she left, it was only because he did not want her driving under the influence. And he said that their relationship was really good. He said Lexi was not happy though, which leads me back to when she left that Friday. He said that she left understanding him and the like, but she left in a strange car that he didn't know who she was leaving with. She just basically hopped over their little gate and jumped into a car. I don't know. To me, that just doesn't sound like a good marriage, but I don't know. That just isn't sitting with me really well. I don't think that I would be jumping into some stranger's car. I mean, it could have been another woman for all we know. I'm not saying anything, but it's just really weird that he couldn't identify who she'd gone with. He also said that she was not happy. So he says, this is his direct quote, "She wasn't happy. She was stressed. I would cuddle her to try to make her strong. She was an amazing woman. Sir, my wife was an amazing woman. She really was. There's always other sides to everything. I was the one holding her, cuddling her, and building her back up. I don't need to set the record straight. I'll let it play out the way it is. I know that what my life was with my wife." So the Sunday after she disappeared, Tom went to the coroner's office after hearing that a woman's body had been found. I don't know if he had heard that the woman had tattoos or what made him decide that maybe that could possibly be his wife, but he went to go check her out. And I don't know, it's just kind of weird. Did something tip him off to make him think that that could be her? Or did he already know that she was dead and expected that to be her? I'm really unsure, but it's interesting. But whatever the reason was, he did go to find Lexi in the coroner's office, and that was in an interview with ABC 13. He said, "It's horrible. People are talking tons of crap. I'm getting death threats and stuff. None of that bothers me. What bothers me is the world, and everybody in it focuses on all the stuff that doesn't matter. Should have been focused on finding my wife. Everybody was still looking for her, and I located her Sunday morning in the coroner's office. They couldn't ID my wife. They didn't know who she was. She was just there." I don't know. That's just really strange. Also, it's interesting because If you look on other news articles, I'm going to actually post links to them. It's weird because they say that Alexis was actually identified by her fingerprints by the Harris County Institute of Forensic Sciences. So did Tom Sharkey identify her and she was completely unidentified in the coroner's office, or did fingerprints identify her? Kind of weird. Anyways, Tom has also said that he's been getting death threats, that people are assuming the worst in him, and that has been really hard on him. I mean, if the guy's innocent, I'm really sorry, dude. I'm so sorry. You know, I know that this has got to be tough. Like, your wife is found naked on the side of the road and she's dead. Like, nobody knows what happened. Like, that's really, really sad. But I don't know. I know, like, everything that I'm saying really does sound like I think that he's guilty. But let me just say, I like to play the devil's advocate. There's really nothing, like, there's no hardcore evidence that makes me think that he killed his wife. There's some weird situations, like, you know, when you're married, you do argue, you know, you go through rocky stuff. Like, it would be horrible to think that you're going through, like, a rough patch and then your, like, spouse ends up missing and dead and you had nothing to do with it, but then all of a sudden everyone thinks you're guilty. So, I mean, at this point, like, I'm just going to say, it's just 100% too soon for me to say what I think happened with Alexis, or what I think, you know, for sure what I think happened. But Lexi's mom, she was also really devastated over Lexi. She even said she had never heard of anything bad about their marriage, that he didn't really give her bad vibes. So, you know, depending on how close you are to your mom, you'd think that maybe those would be things that she would confide in her mom in, maybe. But I don't know, maybe not. But yeah, and Tom is reportedly working with authorities to get answers, and he's cooperating. So it just kind of makes you wonder what happened. So not really knowing a cause of death, or not knowing, you know, not having any visible signs of injury. It's just hard to say exactly what happened to her. It seems like they've kind of set up maybe she had some drug issues in the past. So it seems like that maybe that's kind of been set up for us a little bit to ponder about. That maybe, you know, we could assume that let's assume for a moment that maybe she was using drugs. Maybe she did overdose. People are like, well, that doesn't really explain why she was found naked. But I actually think that could explain why she's found naked, like, better than any other scenario. If there's no sign of sexual assault, of course, would be that, you know, maybe she overdosed. She started feeling kind of sick, and she, I don't know, felt like she needed to take a bath. Like, if I get sick or if I'm not feeling good, I might go, like, take a hot bath and just see if that makes me feel better. So I'm wondering, maybe she did something like that. She took a hot bath, and then maybe she died in the bathtub, or she died soon after getting out, and then whoever she was with panicked and, like, dumped her fast. And that is actually something that has happened to somebody not too far from where I live. That same sort of situation happened. She'd taken a bath, and then they got her out. She got dressed in her pajamas and then laid down and died. So, I mean, I guess to me it doesn't seem like too far-fetched that maybe she died in the bathtub or something like that, trying to make herself feel better. It's just kind of strange. Maybe that could have been what happened. But maybe she was murdered. Like, maybe somebody was jealous of her. Or maybe she had a husband that was angry because they were getting a divorce. Who knows? Like, there's all kinds of things. People have all these ideas out there. Maybe her friends murdered her. Honestly, I haven't seen anything that really would suggest her friends. There's not really anything hardcore that would suggest her husband at this point. He tends to be the number one suspect because of his relationship with her, you know, and there's a few, like he said, she said, sort of situations going on right now. But yeah, so at this point, we're just waiting on reports from the medical examiner, which I imagine will be coming really soon. They're likely looking for digital forensics to kind of figure out who she's been talking to, maybe kind of locations on her friends. Like I said, she didn't have her phone with her, which I think is really strange that she would leave that at home. Even if she had left it, you would think that immediately after realizing she left her phone, she'd go back for it. But That doesn't appear to be the case. Yeah, and another, I don't know, it's just really weird that she just like stopped talking to her friends all of a sudden. And then another piece of the puzzle I think that's going to come out soon is the road she was left on. While it was kind of a quiet road, there's still some businesses on that road with cameras. One in particular, that, from what I understand, there's a salon that had a camera facing the road, like close to where she was found, and that there may have been a car found on that camera. So whoever was driving that car might be kind of freaking out right now. In fact, I would probably be like, okay, I just need to come forward and talk about what happened, because you're probably pretty screwed at this point. Like, they're probably they're probably like just waiting for results to come back. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe there's nothing on there, but I like to hope that, like, think and hope that there is. So, yeah, I don't know. Her case is really strange. It's really bizarre. I like really hope it was just an overdose. Like, I know that sounds like just an overdose, but an overdose is horrible. That's a horrible way to lose somebody. But like, at least nobody like purposely killed her, because that makes me sad when somebody's purposely taken from us. And so, anyways, I'm just wondering what your thoughts are on the case. I think that we'll probably have some answers pretty soon. I really do think that there will be a resolution to her case. I feel like that this is there's only just a few options, I feel like, in all of it. And with her being on social media and being so vocal, and I don't know. I just feel like that they'll be able to figure out what happened. Might take them a little bit of time, but I do think that we'll be hearing fairly soon what's going on. But anyways, you'll have to tell me your thoughts on it. And thank you for letting me jump on here really fast and just, kind of get my thoughts out. If I missed any details, please post them in the comments. If you have any thoughts, or maybe you're like, Trish, you're totally wrong, like, tell me what you're thinking. I want to hear what you're thinking about. Just be nice about it. And anyways, yeah, I am going to go to bed. If you have not subscribed already, please do. Give this a thumbs up if you thought it was good. And yeah, leave me a comment and ring that bell 2 times so that you get the notifications, because I love having you guys here and watching my channel grow and like just getting to know you guys. I feel like I've just made friends from all this, and it's been really just, I say this every time, but it's really been good for me. And yeah, I just thank you. Thank you so much. Good night, guys.